Sunday evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris is back with a Mage Arena run, and boy has it been a wet and wild one. We drafted a deck that started off with Archmage Leonidas, but then had a lot of really bad common picks, and a lot of good common cards clustered in the same picks, like Senjin, Shattered Sun Cleric, and Spellbreaker, and Fireball, and Polymorph. Our first game, though, none of that mattered because the Priest that we played against had such an insane deck, it just didn't make any difference. And then in the second game, we played against a Paladin who was clearly very new to the game and made a lot of misplays in addition to having a really bad deck, and we crushed him needlessly with Archmage Antonidas. Really, anything would have done there, but the Archmage Antonidas and a wave of Fireball, I hope did not turn that poor Paladin away from Hearthstone. That must have been such a frustrating loss, but I hope he sticks with it and learns the game and gets his stuff in order. Okay, well this is a really good start. I mean, the Druid could have removal and whatnot, but if this sticks, I can buff it on the turn after that, and then play the Defender Vargas turn after that. Ah, he has a turn 1 play. Balls. Oh, it's a Wild Growth. Well, I mean, it's a good turn 1 play, certainly. What's nice is that I'm the first player. I find that that makes a really big difference. So basically, it's like he spent his coin to become the first player. It's as if he was the first player of this game, essentially, is what it boils down to. Because he spent one of his cards. He spent his extra card, the Wild Growth, and he spent his coin in order to get up to be the first player to reach each mana level. So it's kind of like he was the first player all along. Well, that means for me, though, that I have the tempo advantage. By the way, as a quick note, do not shy away from playing a Shattered Sun Cleric and buffing a creature, even like on your turn, if there's something else you can do. I mean, I could have played Mirror Entity, but it's really important to like get the damage in while you can get it in. Alright, this might have been a Polymorph, which could have dealt with this a little bit better than a Fireball can, but honestly, I don't even care. I am just playing stuff. So swing, I mean, that's the weird thing about Hearthstone. A lot of games are like protracted back and forth battles, so it's easy to forget that if you just play 2, 3, 4 and your opponent has no disruption, you can deal a monstrous amount of damage. Alright, he throws up a taunt in my way. Luckily I took silence. This was actually one of the hardest picks I've ever had to make on this channel, because I had to choose between this, Ascension, or Shattered Sun Cleric. Now, in this particular case, it ends up being a really good pick, because my opponent is already at 6 health, and he's just going to die next turn. I could play a Mana Worm. I'm going to do it, because it doesn't die to the Druid's Mass Removal, it doesn't die to Starfall or Swipe, and I might as well just in case, but basically my opponent should die next turn. So there's the taunt. That was almost all of his mana. I mean, the only thing that would have prolonged the game there was like a Healing Touch, which, by the way, does not mean you should play that card by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, you know, that was the only thing he had. I don't actually need the Fireball in my hand, it looks like. Unless he has... Ah, Naturalize, okay. So there's a Naturalize. I will now need the Fireball in my hand to win, because previously I could have busted this down with my mega buffed Sorcerer's Apprentice. Now that is no longer the case. Anyway, even if he had used Hero Ability and had gone to 7 health, I have Hero Ability. I have just enough mana now for Hero Ability plus Fireball, so let's not delay and give it well played. So that was a turn 6 victory. Just goes to show how important mana curve is, folks. I just went 2, 3, 4 and attacked, and then I won the game. It is shocking how quickly your life total drops in Hearthstone. Alright, well that was like a 2-minute game. That's great. Let's go ahead and see if we can have a few more of those. So yeah, I mean, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, the ability was not relevant there. It was just the fact that it was a 3-2 and that I had buffs coming down after it. Wow, that was great. That was a very nice, I think, educational game. It was an education in the importance of curve and what can happen if you don't have removal or creatures in your opening hand and your opponent has the creatures. Alright, we're up against a Hunter Beast. Fittingly named. I wonder if this person's actually good, or if he really knows what he's doing. So here I'm gonna ship back the Ice Lance. It's a bit unimpressive, but I will keep these guys. So Flame Strike is a bit early. So Mana Worm's obviously a nice play on turn 1, and the coin is nice too. It'll buff the Mana Worm. Unfortunately, I've got nothing. Oh Jesus Christ! For turn 2. Oh my God. Okay. So, a little education time with Papa Boris. Do not play turn 1 Arcane Shot at your opponent's face. No matter how aggressive your deck is, that is not a good play. I mean, I'm not saying my opponent's going to win or anything right now. He's not guaranteed to win by any, or guaranteed to lose by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that's not a good play. So I'll trade my 1-drop for his 2-drop. The Mana Worm has more potential than that, but it's not the end of the world. It's awkward that I have these 4-drops. This Spellbreaker that silenced the Twisted Abomination last game isn't so good this game because I have nothing to silence at the moment, and I don't want to just throw the Defender down and waste the buff. My opponent's just going to hit me with his weapon. Yikes. Well, I'll play a Mirror Entity. We'll see what he wants to play for me. Because I'm up against a Hunter, there's actually a really serious risk that my opponent is going to play like a little beast and start comboing, like a Starving Buzzard then another beast. But that would be if he was a good player. I'm guessing this is a bit of a new player, given the Arcane Shot to the face and attacking me with the Eaglehorn Bow. So it's possible that he's actually just saving up until he can get a big creature in, and in that case, the Mirror Entity could be really good. So he just spent this bow as a 3-mana deal 6 damage, is what that did. That is not a good use of resources. These guys, it really sucks if they can't be played onto an empty board. Ugh. Well, let's see what we got here. Fireball. Oh my god. I could coin out the Auctioneer, but I don't want to do that. Well, do I want to do that? Because basically, I'm wasting the coin. The coin will draw a card off of him, so it sucks to do that. But you know what? I think this is the right play. Ah, man. A good option now is better than the best option later. I mean, I could have held out and tried to play this next turn, but I don't know. I think it was important to get stuff out there. There's a Starving Buzzard, so I'm going to get a Starving Buzzard. I'm pretty sure I don't have any beasts in this stack, so the Starving Buzzard won't be good for much. Kill command to kill the Auctioneer. Well, he knows to kill the Auctioneer. That's good. Luckily, the Starving Buzzard will let me kill his Starving Buzzard. And in fact, I'm actually going to just... Yeah, I'm just going to throw away, well, quote-unquote, the Defender of Argus. And kill the Buzzard that way. So a multi-shot would kill both my creatures, but I think I'll be alright then, because this person doesn't play very well. So, it's likely that I'm just going to be able to win with my big creatures. It's a multi-shot, because of course it is. I might actually, I might lose this game. I have been steady shotted below 20 health, so if he has removal for my big creatures, he could actually win. Frost Nova is not the hero that Gotham needs. Oh my god. I really have nothing to do. Yep, 6 mana and 2 7-mana cards. God darn it. Oh my lord, that was terrible. I could have considered a Fireball to the face, but that seems a bit premature. Scavenging Hyena? Alright, so finally I have things to like silence. But, of course, now I want to be able to just play my cards. I don't think I can, though. I don't think I can actually take a moment to play these cards. My life will go too low. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't play my cards. Because if he hits me for 5 and I go down to 11, it's just too much. Okay. So I could play the Giant. I could Ice Lance one of these things to buy myself time, or I could just Flame Strike. Alright, we're going to Flame Strike. I don't have any Taunt, and I can't afford to take the damage. I could have Frost Nova'd, but then there was no point, because I didn't have enough mana to Frost Nova and play this Mountain Giant. Oh, this Mountain Giant's so annoying. Okay. Well, let's see what my opponent wants to do here. If he plays something big, then on my turn, this thing will actually, this thing will cost 6 mana, or excuse me, it'll cost 6 mana after I draw my card. Oh, Jesus. Well, it looks like he's going to go for the kill here. I'm down to 10. I am dead in 4 turns, and that's without any... God, I'm actually going to lose this game because my draw was that bad. Ugh. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to play Cone of Cold. Excuse me, we're going to play the Giant, and then we're going to play Frost Nova, just to stop this Tiger from attacking. I will actually lose the game to a silence on the spot, because he could silence the freeze off of this. Swing for 5. The Unleash the Hounds will also get taken care of. And then do the steady shot. So I'm dead currently in 3 turns. I never saw any life gain in this deck. So I have to really hurry here. I cannot believe I'm going to... Okay, so this person did play badly. I just had a very, very, very bad draw. What we need to do, I think, is silence this bear. Cone of Cold. It's Ice Lance to finish off the Tiger. And I need to swing for 8. So I am actually in racing mode here. I need to hope he doesn't draw any more kill commands or arcane shots. I'm dealing 12 damage a turn. He's dead in 2 turns. I'm dead in 3, so I need... And I have a Fireball, actually. Is that going to be enough? Ah, damn it. He has a Taunt. Oh, my God. And a multi-shot. No! Oh, my God. That's so terrible. God damn it. Archmage, Antonitis, I can't play him. It's too slow. Too slow. I can't play either of these. The Fireball costs too much. Ah. Well, let's Fireball this. Let's do that. This. This is the most ridiculous game. I cannot believe I might actually lose this. So with that, if he doesn't draw any direct damage, it's going to take him... Because he didn't steady shot me last time because he played the taunt, I think is what happened. Tracking. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that's actually very terrifying, because if any of these 3 cards are direct damage, I'm just going to lose. It's a secret. Oh my god, is it Explosive Trap? That would be hilarious. I will lose to an Explosive Trap. Is there any way that I can win without Explosive Trap? No, because I'm up against a Hunter. So basically, here's the problem. I'm up against a Hunter. It's going to take too long for this to come online. I just have to pray it's not Explosive Trap. It's Explosive Trap. Oh my god, this is the most embarrassing arena ever. So that Hunter played horribly. There's no question you should not Arcane Shot your opponent in the face, and you should not use the Eagle Horn Bow. My mistake was probably that I didn't play Spellbreaker earlier, just to have him as a body. He just threw everything on the board and sent it at my face. I had an awful drop. So it's actually really interesting because the game against the Druid I had a really great draw, 2, 3, 4, and I crushed him. Now this Hunter did have some removal. He had like the multi-shot and the bow and stuff that I guess he could have used against my creatures if I'd been playing them. But still, I had a really bad draw and you saw what happened. Like one of the worst players ever just absolutely beat me because all he did was steady shotted me to death after getting me low on life. Wow, that was an embarrassment. Well, we're going to need to play very well here to salvage this arena. I'm not sure I could have won that game. I mean, maybe playing a Spellbreaker earlier would have done it for me, but I don't think I could have done anything to win. We'll keep this 4-drop, I guess, to make sure we have something to play on turn 4. And we got something to play on turn 2, although I don't want to play this on turn 2 because Paladins could have weapons. Alright, there's a Mana Worm. In the nick of time. Oh my god, that is so embarrassing that I lost that game. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. You know what I have to say is that, those giants, the War Golem and the Giant were really terrible. Pyroblast wouldn't have been any better, I don't think. I don't think I could have gotten my opponent close enough. He had just enough taunts to stop me from attacking with my creatures. And just enough of those damned multi-shots. So I don't think I could have won if the Giant had been a Pyroblast. This is a very awkward card for me to deal with because it kills my Mana Worm and I can't finish it off with the hero ability. It also kills the Cure and Tor Mage. So either I'm throwing away the Cure and Tor Mage into this creature, or I have to play the Ooze. It's a less valuable creature, but then I don't have an out against weapons. Well, I'm going to trust my instincts. I'm going to play the Mage. Even though this hits harder than the Ooze, I think it's really important to keep this out against weapons. So there's the monkey. My opponent's going to kill the Mana Worm. Well, this is actually a stroke of luck for me. He could have killed the Cure and Tor Mage while he had the chance, but he chose to get greedy to kill us first and then hide behind the Fairy Dragons and target ability. However, my opponent's going to pay for that gamble because I can actually play this guy. Now, a Consecration would kill off both my creatures, but I'm still doing fine on cards. He's got 5 to my soon-to-be 5, so it'd be fine on cards, and I'd be alright. No Consecration. That's something for 5 mana.
They'll never know.
Nightblade, oh god. Wow, we're playing a lot of bad opponents here. Although I guess it makes sense. Like the last opponent, that Hunter, was like one of the worst players I've seen on this channel, and he beat me. So like if that was what I played at 2-1, I guess it makes sense that we're gonna see some new players at 2-2. Are there beta keys being sent out? I'm pretty sure there weren't going to be until after BlizzCon. So I don't know why I'm seeing this rash of new players. Maybe it's because I did badly recently and my MMR dropped. But the thing is, I actually did pretty well yesterday. I had 2 runs at 5 wins and 2 runs at 9, which was like pretty decent. Let's go ahead and play the Cult Master here. Draw a card. Kill off his Cult Master. Fireball. Alright, well, I don't want to play the Ooze. It'll just die to a Consecration. Although I do want to play the Ooze because I have 2 of them. Yeah, we'll play one. That seems fine. So I have another Ooze in case he drops a True Silver Champion. And if it dies to Consecration, then that's sad. But that'll be 2/3 of his turn, so I'm okay with it. We've got a handful of fireballs here, and they do draw cards if this guy's allowed to live. Wintry Harpy. Well, that's getting fireballed. I could draw an extra card with the ooze, and I could Cone of Cold and slow it down, but I think this is just totally fine. So here's what I like about Fireball versus Polymorph. You don't have this sheep lying around afterwards. Alright, well, looks like my guys are going to beat down here. This is 11 damage that I've got on the board, plus I'm at 8 mana, so this is another 12 damage. I have a lot of overkill damage here. My opponent is probably going to suffer. Let's see, what could he do? I mean, if he plays Justice and heals up for 6, I still kill him on the board. He clears my creatures, I've got the fireballs. Okay, he's trying to razzle-bedazzle me, and that's totally fine. Oh, no, no, new player, no, you should always pass the turn. Make sure that your opponent sees that he's winning the game before you pass. I should like make a booklet or a thing where it's like Papa Boris's Pearls of Wisdom. Just, you know, the things that I repeat over and over on this channel, and are maybe not like a comprehensive guide to getting better at the arena, but are just like a helpful catechism for new players so that they don't make these silly mistakes. All right, we're at 3 and 2. We're trying to claw our way back up to respectability. Knave, Vagrant. No mages and no priests in this arena, so I guess I'm grateful for that. Oh no, I did lose to that priest, I guess. Okay, we're gonna ship this back. I'll keep the Mirror Entity around for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I draw the Cure into our mage, I might be able to play it for free. Number two, it is cheaper with the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which makes it somewhat more palatable. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just coin. Let's get this out here. Currently, I don't have anything to do on turn 3. I'm planning to play the Mirror Entity next turn. The reason I'm doing that rather than the Frostwolf Grunt is because of Forked Lightning. Forked Lightning would kill both these creatures for 1 mana. Okay, that also is an issue. Ah, Jesus. Oh boy, so this axe is usually not as good as a Fiery War Axe, but in this particular circumstance, it's actually amazing. Because I mean, I have two toughest creatures. So that sucks. Next turn, we'll probably be playing a Mirror Entity and hoping for the best. Oh man, that axe is so good, it hurts. Oh, he's swinging at my face, that's awesome. You really shouldn't. He should keep it around, because there's always a chance that I'm holding on to creatures like this one and not playing them. Just because, you know, turn 2 went by and I didn't play anything doesn't mean I don't have it. I might have just not wanted to throw it in front of the axe. Well, maybe my opponent will oblige us with a nice turn for 4 mana creature. Like a Chillwind Yario or something. Oh no! Oh, jeez. So there we go. I paid 3 mana for a 2/1. And that, folks, is why I hate the Mirror Entity. He's going to use up the last charge of his axe, even though I have a creature on the board that he can kill with it. Oh, man. Well, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. That is just fine by me. So we're going to drop this Taunter in the way to stop his stealthy dude from trading places with mine. The Auctioneer is an interesting call. It's a 5 mana 4/4, which is kind of sucky. Like, the Water Elemental just has better stats for 1 less mana. Now, if I draw spells, he gets better, but if right now, it's just the Flame Strike that triggers, so it's actually not that good at the moment. Lava Burst. Well, it's a fair move. He's going to be overloaded pretty heavily next turn, and then he's got 2 totems. That's about all he's got. Ooze. Well, let's do this. This uses up all of my mana. The risk of this play is that it dies to a Lightning Bolt because of the spell damage totem. So that is the risk I'm taking, in exchange for using my mana more efficiently. Stormforged Axe. Wow. Maybe that was why he was sending the other axe at my head, is because he had the second one. Man, I really wish I could see the 1/1 totem so that I could ping it off, but he drew all the totems except for that one. Bang. And I did draw this later, so my secret could have been free. Alas, alas. Alright, well, let's go ahead and just put stuff on the board, I think. Oh, wait, I have an ooze. What am I doing? Haha, I definitely want to use this ooze. Boy, I'm really glad I drafted this. In general, I'm not a fan because it's often just a 3-2 for 2, but man, when it's good, it's really good. So Flame Strike's actually not that likely to be good because it's just totems here. So I don't have any spells. This is just a 4-4 that I paid 5 mana for, is what it is at the moment. It's got potential though. If I can just get one decent spell and draw a single card off of this, that would be nice. Well, that was an interesting move by my opponent. So he's killing off my card drawer, which I can't blame him for. But it is giving me an extra mana crystal, which could be handy if I were to draw my giant or my war golem. Okay. There's the war golem. Speak of the devil. Well, I could have played this anyway, so the mana isn't useful. Yeah, I'm going to kill the spell power totem, because that is by far the more dangerous one. So my opponent hexed my 3-6. Let's see, does he have another hex for my 7-7? That is the question. If he hexes enough of my stuff, he will win. Once he plays his own big creatures, I only have a Flame Strike for defense, and it's not good against the one big thing approach to playing creatures. I wonder. I have no more secrets in my deck. This is just a 4-3 for 3, which is totally fine. I actually wish that there were creatures in the game that were a 3-4 for 3 mana. I really would like to see that. That seems like it should be something for a vanilla creature, because there are so many creatures that are 3-3 plus an ability that you'd think they'd make a 3-4 vanilla. The only vanilla 3-mana creature is the Magma Rager, which is a 5-1. It's like, what is the absolute worst combination of stats we could think of? And let's make it below the curve for what a 3-mana creature should be. Its total stats are only 6, not 7. Ah, there's the tiger. So the tiger's a perennially annoying creature for mages to deal with because it doesn't die to Flame Strike, and then you can't use your hero ability to ping it off. Well, you'll be using the hero ability to ping that off, so that's nice. Mana Worm. Not what I need. Let's start getting some beats on with the War Golem. And basically, the one card that could really nail me here is Lightning Storm. So I'll play a Mana Worm, which can survive it, and I'll play the Stone Tusk War, which can survive it as well. Its Piglet doesn't, but he does. And the Kirin Mage will hang around to that. Just in case he does flip a Wrath of Air totem and has Lightning Storm, I don't want my 3 toughness creatures to guaranteed die. Lightning Storm would get him back in the game. I mean, it would deal enough damage to the War Golem that the Tiger would trade for it. Ah, now we are very interested in playing Flame Strike. Very interested indeed. Oh my goodness. Flame Strike is going to be a ball smasher. Smasher of balls. Call me Flame Strike. Smasher of balls. He's going to reveal the tiger to kill my frog, or nope, he's going to keep it in stealth. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ah, he really should have kept it hidden. You've got to figure a mage is going to want a Flame Strike here, right? So you got to play around it. That is not playing around it, because now I get to Flame Strike. Finish off the unstealthed tiger with my hero ability. Finish off the Senjin with my piglet. And Papa just got himself a new pair of basketball shoes. Well, my opponent is, as I like to say, in serious ass trouble. Excuse me, well played. That's not gonna matter. Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus could maybe matter. No Defender of Argus. Alright, that is all that she wrote. Well played, sir. Well played. Knave Vagrant, the well-named shaman, goes down, and we are above average. Although, on this night... Man, maybe it really is just that on Sunday and Saturday you get more casual players. I don't know, but whatever. We'll take it however we can get it. On this night, we rise above the ranks to 4 wins. Again, the ranks at the moment seem not to be staffed by the strongest people, except for that priest, who is probably like already at 9 wins. God, that deck is I'm still reeling from it. If you didn't watch the first video, I've noticed that my second videos always seem to have a bit more views than the first one, so I don't know if folks are skipping the draft just to watch the game. I will say this though, even if you don't care about the draft, check out the first video for this draft. Just look at the first game. Just skip ahead to the first game. If you enjoy watching a beatdown, And if you enjoy watching someone play a ton of insane cards in a row, and if you enjoy that person being not Papa Boris, you should watch the first game of this arena run because it was pony whipping ridiculous. Okay, so we got an ooze here. So at the moment it does nothing, but warriors, I mean, you just have to hold it in your hand. You cannot play it on turn 2. You've got to respect the axe. So sad as it is, I am just going to be pinging my opponent in the face because these damned fairy dragons are untargetable. My god, this fairy dragon, is it me? Or has this gotten like a lot more popular all of a sudden? I really feel like people did not play with this that much until somewhat recently. He's going to armor up. I was kind of hoping he'd play a premature fiery war axe. He did not oblige me, however. Razorfen Hunter, honestly not the best card against the fairy dragon, but I don't want to play the speculative mirror entity. Because basically what the fairy dragon can do is kill the piglet and then also kill the hunter. So it just kind of sucks. This, however, might tempt my opponent into playing a fiery war axe if he's been sandbagging it on me. Okay, this person seems to know what he's doing. A new player would probably not have the presence of mind to do that kind of a move, taking full advantage of this creature's ability. He's even going to heal it up. Well, I'm not sure about that move. I mean, okay. I'm losing a bit of confidence. Ah, he has removal for this. I see. Slam. Oh, nope, nope. I'm still not. Wow. Yeah, I don't like that move at all, to be totally honest, because basically, I mean, this thing's going to die to the hero ability. If not right now, then at some point soon. So if you're going to drop it, you might as well drop it when it actually matters. And the extra point of health in this doesn't make any difference. It still dies either way. So, and the slam was basically a cycle because this was going to die to the fairy dragon anyway. Now, of course, I could have done some shenanigans. I could have, like, Defender of Argus, and then it would have survived, but whatever. That's fine by me. Let's just go ahead and play Senjin. Cult Master, because of the Voodoo Doctor, you don't want to play it here. I do draw a card off of the Razorfen Hunter. However, I don't actually want to do that and then have the Cult Master then promptly die to the Voodoo Doctor. So, we'll actually make a bit of a gamble ourselves here. So I'm not going to kill off my 2-1 against the 3-2. And the reason for that is I would like to actually buff it with the Defender of Argus next turn. So I might be punished horribly for this. It's possible. But if I'm not, if there's no incoming Cruel Taskmaster to finish this off, I'll actually be in pretty good shape. I can play Cult Master, kill off the dragon with this, draw a card, use the Senjin to kill that, draw a card. Ah, looks good. So my opponent spends half of his mana to draw a card and put a Dinkosaurus Rex on the board, and he's armoring up. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, is he going to throw away those 2 creatures on this engine? No, he's not. So, actually, I have another option now. I could play Cone of Cold. Oh, no, I can't target this. Man, even though the Voodoo Doctor was a really bad play, I have to wonder if this is a good player, because he's keeping the untargetable creature in the middle. He specifically put the Novice Engineer over here. That's no coincidence. Most people just kind of put everything to the left. He put it over here to keep this in the middle to prevent me from Cone of Cold. So anyway, I can play the Defender, buff Runaroo, and then I could, like, kill the Novice Engineer with my 3-2, and nope, we'll just take a card. Kill his best creature, take a card. Seems good. Arcane Golem's a bit early, but let's just do a little bit of Clearinghouse and pass the turn. So the best creature for my opponent here would probably be Dark Iron Dwarf. It would let him buff this up and trade up very nice into this engine, which would be very good because it would also stop me from eventually killing this Voodoo Doctor. This Voodoo Doctor has been on borrowed time the moment it set foot on the board. If my opponent leaves these two things around, though, if there's no Cleave, no Execute, no Dark Iron Dwarf, I play Defender of Argus and I'm in really good shape. I'll have a 4-5 and a 5-3 swinging for 9 damage, and I'll have 2 mana left over to finally kill this thing off. So my opponent needs a good play right here. It's a very fragile situation. I'm not saying I'm critically ahead or anything. I'm just saying, like, at this moment where we're both kind of in the balance, if he doesn't do something good, I'm gonna come away from it. My opponent did not. I mean, not that he's a bad player or anything. He just, you know, didn't have anything good to do. So that was an interesting move. He threw the Voodoo Doctor away before I could kill it off. Smart, smart. So we'll do a little bit of a think here. The silence is tempting to stop the Golem from coming back, but what I'd actually rather do is Defender of Argus, keep this engine alive, against the golem. Then I'll just use the hero ability to finish the golem off, and I got this Cult Master. Now the disadvantage, of course, is that the Cult Master now has taunt, so he can be attacked. I could have put the Defender over here. I felt, however, that since my opponent has no creatures on the board, barring charge, it's not going to make any difference. Now, if my opponent plays, let's say, a Defender of Argus, I'm going to really regret it. Because previously, not a Defender of Argus, sorry, an Argent Commander. That's the 6/4, that's a 6-mana 4/3 charger. Because by having this taunted, he would actually be able to pop Divine Shield and kill my Cult Master. Had I kept the Cult Master untaunted, he would have had to pop Divine Shield against this mostly dead Sen'jin, and then I would have drawn a card. Well, my Sen'jin's going to die, but it draws me a card from the Cult Master, so I can't really be arsed about it. Is it time to play the Arcane Golem? Can I do that yet? You know what? Let's not. Let's actually play the Mirror Entity here. Let's be one of those obnoxious people who play Mirror Entity. Do I play this? I can play it anyway, huh? Can't I? Oh, man. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually kill off that thing. The reason for that is I don't want my opponent to have damage on the board to kill the Cult Master with. And I'm gonna kill this thing off. I'm sacrificing 5 damage. Seems fine, though. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll just do this. Give my opponent the crystal. Shouldn't matter. So, the problem with hitting the Novice Engineer is that I'm vulnerable to cleave. So by putting an extra creature on the board, granted this dies to cleave, it at least leaves a chance that the Cult Master will live and I'll draw 2 cards. Only 1 in 3 chance, so not a good chance, but the chance is there. So now my opponent has to worry about playing any creatures, because if he plays a big one, he hasn't been playing a whole lot. It's going to get copied, which would be very bad for him.
What now?
Well, he's got a lot of cards. 7 cards, and a decent life total. So I'm ahead, but he could catch up.
What now?
Auctioneer? Oh, wow. I will take an Auctioneer. Yes, please. And a Tauren Warrior. Okay. I will take that. Oh, goodness, yes. He's going to give it charge. That's a smart move. So it draws a card off the Auctioneer and lets him kill my Cult Master. So here's where I pay for the Cult Master being exposed. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do... man, I could Cone of Cold freeze this, because I have a Frost Nova to freeze something later. Huh, interesting. Let's take a look. I have 11 damage. 11 plus 6 is 17. Take him down to 7. I don't think that's quite... well, it's pretty close, actually, to death. I just don't have a follow-up. If I had, like, another Fireball in my hand, I'd go for it. Alright, we're just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to trade this off. Swing, swing, play, swing. And, you know what? Let's just send the Fireball to the face. I should have done that first, because it drew me a card. But luckily it didn't matter, because I drew a 5-mana card. I find that if you have mana left over on a turn and burn that you're hoping to send to your opponent's face later, send the burn to your opponent's face right now. Because actually, I lost a game once for holding back a Pyroblast like that. Ooh, is it going to be the irrelevant last turn Molten Giant? Everybody's favorite. The Molten Giant that's played on the final turn of the game for free. And it doesn't make any difference because you're about to die. We'll see. This might actually work for him. I mean, he's at 9 health. I don't have burn in my hand. So this might actually be not irrelevant.
I wonder.
If he had a Defender of Argus, I bet he wouldn't have to think this long about what to do. Defender of Argus would make this a 9/9 taunt. So I'm guessing he doesn't have that. Oh my god! Oh my god, that's really funny. Man, yeah, you know what? It's really funny because there's been like a little douchey person who's been kind of posting snooty stuff on my channel lately. And it always really annoys me when, or just, I guess it doesn't annoy me, it surprises me that people get so angry when they're watching someone and that person plays badly. I mean, I've done that sometimes where I browse YouTube for Hearthstone videos and I watch someone like, oh, this person's not very good, so I stop watching. But like, I never get angry. Like, it's like, why are you mad? Think about it, what it's like from my shoes. I'm the one who like has to post onto the internet for everyone to see a record that will be preserved for all time of me being an idiot. Everybody will see this. And you're mad because you're sitting at home in your bathrobe and you watch someone make a mistake in Hearthstone? Give me a freaking break. So anyway, that was another instance of me being at less than stellar levels. I was like, yeah, but he doesn't have Defender of Argus, and then like seconds before he played the Defender of Argus. That was great. Okay, so I kept the Cult Master. This is a bit of a speculative keep because I was really hoping to get earlier creatures. As you can see, I didn't. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Well, this is another one of those bad draws. I'm going to have to, on turn 3, coin out a Water Elemental just to have something to do. The good news is I'm not playing anything that dies to Fiery War Axe, so yay. But other than that, this is a pretty weak draw. Ah, well, that'll be nice to kill someday. Oh, geez, this is hard. Now, as a general rule, you should always ping your opponent's creatures. It's not likely that I'm going to kill this thing off by pinging it 2 more times, but you just never know. The point of damage on your opponent's face this early in the game is absolutely irrelevant compared to the possibility of killing that creature. Alright, so he's going to Cruel Taskmaster it up and play Young Priestess. Interesting. So what he's doing here is he's hoping that this is the thing that will get buffed, and it wasn't. Okay, well, plans change. Let's go ahead and just do this. I wish I could do something else. I can't. What's really funny, though, is because I'm literally doing nothing all game, and because I was the second player, starting with an extra card and with a coin, the Mountain Giant's going to be playable next turn, which is kind of funny. I just need to make sure I don't lose too much health. I'm already down below 20. My opponent could actually start to race me down. Well, I have to think about this. The problem is, what else am I doing? Nothing. Let's just play the Mountain Giant. Now, my opponent could, of course, kill this with an Execute. He could just give up one of his own creatures and then execute that thing, which, that's fine. But I'm really behind because my opponent had a fast start and I had a very, very slow one. This Mana Worm really couldn't have come at a worse time. What I really need is a Cone of Cold. And I mulliganed that Frost Nova, I think. I think I mulliganed a Frost Nova this game. And I am deeply, deeply regretting it. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh, Jesus. Luckily, he didn't have any creatures this turn. Thank the heavens. But, yeah, we're going to be in trouble. So he's getting me down real low. So my opponent has officially decided he's going to race, which I cannot blame him for in the slightest. Alright, well, what we're going to have to do here is definitely kill that off. We're going to have to definitely kill that off. And mercifully, I can actually play a creature now. We're going to play the Water Elemental. So I'm in trouble. By using the coin there, I'm stopping myself from using the coin next turn to Flame Strike, but I'm hoping that between Fireball and my 2 creatures on the board, which are very large, I'll be able to kill things. He can deal 5-7 damage to me, taking me down to 6. That is definitely a point at which I need to start being alarmed about the Warrior's ability to burn me out. So yeah, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination. I'm probably going to lose this game just because of my terrible draw and because of my opponent's super fast one. Oh my god, that's the worst thing. Oh, he's going to run into my guy. Oh, thank heavens. My opponent, I think, made a strategic blunder right there. He should have attacked me for that 3 damage. He could have taken me down to 3 health this turn, but instead he left me at 11, and there's a big, big difference. Okay, well now I cannot coin out Flame Strike, but I will play the Senjin. And I need to think very carefully about what to do here, because basically if I attack my opponent, I stop him from attacking with the weapon. However, that's not as important as stopping any shenanigans from that Worgen. So again, always ping your opponent's creatures. You never know when it might matter. And in this case, it actually matters pretty clearly because at 3 health, it'll die to either of my things. Well, because my opponent left me at 11 health, he now can't really burn me out. He'd have to get through the Senjin, and then he'd also need to draw an Arcanite Reaper. Okay. I think the correct move here is the following. I'm going to... Yeah, I think this is the right move. I'm going to Fireball after playing Mana Worm to kill this Roman Champion. I'm going to Hero Ability to kill this guy. And it's really, really important now that I start hitting my opponent with the Water Elemental. This, I might not even know it, because I don't see my opponent's hands. But if he's holding on to an Arcanite Reaper, this is single-handedly keeping me in the game by stopping my opponent from attacking. So here's where I wish I had drawn another one of those. Alright, Shilliman Yeti comes down. This is a good play for my opponent because basically what it's doing is it's making it harder for me to attack him with my Water Elemental. This guy was just threatening to kill it. Archmage Leonidas is a bit slow. Flame Strike, I would need another point of mana in order to be able to Fire Blast. So what I'm going to do here is Fireball the Yeti. Play Cult Master. Kill off his creature. Draw a card. So I have both of my oozes. So I actually have outs against his weapon play. Mortal Strike is the biggest burn that a warrior could have. It deals 6 damage once I get him low enough on life. And that's not enough to kill me. So really warriors don't have direct damage other than Mortal Strike. Yeah, so it's basically weapons are the warrior's burn, and as long as I keep him frozen, he can't do that. No, that's bad. So he's gonna get to kill off my water. Oh jeez! Well, I don't know. He might not have any more weapons in the draft. I can see the reason behind killing the Cult Master to stop, you know, from to stop your opponent from being able to draw cards. But if he has any weapons in his deck, then that was a misplay. I mean, he's very bad shape now, but basically his main hope for winning was to draw a weapon and burn me out. Ah, that deserves a well played. So this guy is now silenced. He's just a 5/7. Alright, this actually seems like a pretty good move. We'll just do it.
My shield for Argus.
Let's think. Yeah, we'll just kill that. I want to really try to keep all my opponent's creatures off the board if I can, and we'll play this guy. I'm a bit of a risk of mind control tech, but honestly, whatever he steals, I can flame strike to death anyway. So I don't really mind. All right, that is the game. So let's go home. The warrior here, that's his name. I'm not saying let's go home. I think he could have won the game. I had a really slow start. He didn't have anything like super exceptional, but he just had a normal fast start. There was that one turn where he could have taken me down to 6 health. He had a Wolf Rider, and he played it, but he instead attacked into my Giant. Now, here's the thing. You might think, well, Boris, why not attack your Giant? If the Giant's obviously going to be killing creatures in a desperate bid to stay alive, wouldn't it make sense to do the trade yourself? And the answer is no, because by attacking his 2 creatures into my Giant, he essentially allowed my Giant to attack twice. If, however, he just leaves his creatures on the empty field, my Giant can only pick 1 off each turn. Now, I guess he was up against a Mage, so perhaps he was playing around Blizzard, but he had to know he was going to be in desperate straits if I was able to hang in there. So I think the best bet was to take me down to 3 health, and then hope to draw a weapon. Now, maybe he had no weapons. You know, maybe he had no weapons. It was like the draft, and like that Arathi weapon set was all he had. Maybe he had no Mortal Strike. It is a rare. But he did have a Core Crown Elite. That would have killed me if I didn't have Taunt in play. Like, I think he had a Warsong Commander. That would have killed me. I think he also screwed up, actually, by playing a Warsong Commander at 5 mana. Yeah, he had on his 5 mana turn, he played Warsong Commander, then armored up, leaving the Warsong Commander just to die. So I think he should have waited and then played it and another creature and then had it charge, and then given himself the opportunity to like attack for surprise damage. Okay, well here we're just gonna go ahead and keep it simple. Let's I think either way this ends up at 1 health. Yeah, no matter what it ends up at 1 health. So we're gonna just do this, and we'll ping this. So now on her turn, she can obviously make a dagger and kill the worm, but then she does not do anything else, and then so I can just kill off the Defias Ringleader, and that's that. Even Stevens. Or she could play something else. She's going to go ahead and kill the worm. Okay, great. I am at 6 wins, so this is my arena life on the line. It's a bit sad that I was second, or excuse me, that I wasn't second, because if my rogue opponent had been second, her start would have been a lot slower. She wouldn't have had this on turn 1. And this would actually cost 2 mana less from my coin and from my extra card, and my mana worm would have grown from the coin too. So yeah, all in all, that was very unfortunate. This Mountain Giant that I mulliganed into is a really bad card, and it's not going to come up like in a long time. So an uncomboed Eviscerate suggests she has something else afterwards. Cold Blood, interesting. That is all the way aggressive. So she spent an eviscerate not killing my creature so she could combo cold blood? What? Man, my opponents keep making these moves. I mean, you're up against a mage. You've got to figure Flame Strike's gonna kill that thing. I don't know. I think that was a mistake. I don't know. I feel like I'm being very bitchy at my opponents, but I'm not. I don't mind. I think they're not bad people. It's just I think they're making mistakes. I don't see the wisdom of their plays. All right, there's a Knife Juggler. I assume another creature is incoming. Novice Engineer. All right. So hopefully not here. Of course it goes there. Of course it goes there. Okay, what we'll do here is we'll be a little bit greedy. I'm going to kill that thing off. And we're going to play that. This is one of the best things to play onto an empty board. Against anyone other than mages, of course. So we'll see if my opponent can get another lucky Knife Fling onto my Sorcerer's Apprentice. There's a Knife Fling, and it's going on me. Good. And the Owl is going on... Jesus Christ, that's so bad. Man. Alright, I don't want to give my opponent any mana, but I do need to start killing off my opponent's stuff. So let's obviously do that. Let's obviously do that. There's not much point in killing this thing because its damage power stays exactly the same. This will just die to that, so that seems kind of sad. I want to hold on to that. So we're going to just pass the turn, which is a bit sad. But next turn I can play this Giant. So my opponent got me to 16 health. I'm okay with being at 16 versus Rogue. That's okay. I'm hopeful she doesn't play anything super scary that will require me to, like, have answers. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So spending her entire turn to assassinate my thing is tremendous. Alright, I'm going to play the Mountain Giant for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can now stop worrying about the cards in my hand. Number two, it's bigger. Number three, I'd like to play this and a spell at the same turn, like a Frost Nova, say, on turn 9. So that I at least get one Fireball out of him before he gets silenced. Or are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Honestly, I finally play one of those damn Giants, and this happens. Lord. Well, now my life total is too low. I can't afford to wait around anymore. We're going to have to Flame Strike here. I regret not killing that Golem earlier. I would have, when I had the 4/4 in play, I totally would have rather... jeez. Well, that's life, I suppose. That's life. Man, a freaking live. Really? You had to have the big game hunter. Stupid epic. Ugh. This is actually a very good card. It's like a Chillwind Yeti. Do I have any more Flame Strikes in this deck? I think I might. I don't know. I'd love a Cone of Cold. Cone of Cold would be ace. No Cone of Cold. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to play this guy. And Frost Nova to hold the fort here and get a Fireball. So let's see if my opponent has removal for this, or a sap or something. Because if not, I might actually be able to catch back up, like Fireball this, Hero Ability that. Are you goddamn kidding me? How much silence does a man need? Lord. Well, I drew my real Fireball, so we're going to have a Fireball-y turn here. We're going to have to Fireball this, obviously. There's no question about that. I think I just need to kill this. Kill this. And now that we're at 10 mana, I'm actually going to play this move. I'm trying to preserve as much health as I can. So I'm way ahead on cards, like way ahead. But these are sort of bad. My opponent actually has mass removal, or swarm, which is really, really good. He's actually going to run that in, that's perfect. So she's going to use a dagger to kill that, which is fine. Okay, so this Fireball is a bit overkill for a 2/3, but I might have to think about it. We'll see. Charms and Cleric. Perfect. Okay, so we'll ping this off. We'll do this. We'll do that. And I'm not going to play this other Ooze. We'll hang on to that for my Rogue's next dagger. So I can go down to 10. With the Rogue having only one card, I'm not that afraid of being at 10 health, so this should be fine. Oh, jeez! Well, now that she has 4 cards, I am more afraid of being at 10 health, but she's at 19, so I might be able to race her out. We'll see. God, another Knife Juggler? Really? And a Backstab. Okay, if that knife hits this thing... Oh no, she's right. There's no more knives. Right. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what we can do here. We're still at 12, which is good. Flame Strike will be nice. But again, I'm not going to take any chances. Let's just play Cult Master. Do that. Draw a card. Spellbreaker. Oh man, I can't play this. I want the body. I don't want to silence my Cult Master. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and I'm actually going to send a fireball to the face. It's a bit risky, for sure, because I'm getting rid of my removal, but this opponent's deck has been nothing but Chumpasaurus Rex all game, so I have a feeling that Flame Strike will be good. If she plays like a Boulder Fist Ogre, then yes, I will lose the game because of that. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Seriously, just the perfect answers at every step. Well, we're gonna hang in there. It's not over yet. We could still stay in this arena. Just need a little bit of luck. Gadsden Auctioneer. It's actually not that good. Because I really don't want it just to die to the Stormpike Commando. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Flame Strike. And play the Ooze to get rid of her Dinky Dagger. And now we're ready to play this and this for 9 mana. Or this and a spell that I hopefully drew. Cone of Cold is still in here. Oh my god, Cone of Cold is so amazing. I'll even take an Ice Lance. They're both in here. I used a Frost Nova, but Cone of Cold and Ice Lance are both in here. So I've got the goods. I just need my opponent to not have the absolute perfect answer to everything I play. Okay, Assassinate on a 3-2. Good. She feels desperate if she's doing that. That's perfect. We can both deal an equal amount of damage to each other per turn with our hero abilities. I just deal... I just have to pay 2 mana each time, whereas she only has to pay 2 mana once. Okay. So this is actually really good. First... Well, I don't actually need to play this yet. I'm just going to play this and that. So my opponent has 2 cards. It is possible that she'll win. I think with 2 cards, is it possible? I don't think it is actually. Not unless she like shivs and then gets to something else. But basically, like she can combo Eviscerate. That's not quite gonna do it. Just gonna attack. Okay. Deathwing. All right. Well, that might actually win the game for my opponent because I don't have a polymorph. Cone of Cold. Well. Oh no, I did this wrong. I always do it wrong. Oh god. I always do it wrong. I had to play the Silence first and then the Cone of Cold. If I played the Silence after the Cone of Cold, then it would have unfrozen him and he would have won the game. Wow, I'm going to lose to Deathwing. The only answer that it would be reasonably possible is a Polymorph, but I took a Fireball rather than Polymorph, so I don't have an out for this. And this, well, it might have been one of the other 2 Fireballs that would have been a Polymorph, but this will win my opponent the game. I can only get her down to 6. Oh my god. If I'd played this last turn, 4 + 6 is 10, I could get her down to 11, which would be probably even more maddening. Right, well that is the game. Oh my god. I bet there was something I could have done against that rogue, but it was just so insane that she had the perfect answer to everything. I mean, that happens sometimes. It just happens. And then Deathwing was, of course, the final perfect answer that she needed. So that was an extremely frustrating arena. We lost to, like, the worst player in the universe, got crushed by an insane priest deck, and then that game, to lose it all. Well, if you enjoyed it, please like and or subscribe. I will be back with a vengeance. And let's stick around for Papa Boris's hour of depression and shame. We've got 85 gold here, which is alright for 6 wins. It's not as good as it gets, but it is alright. Let's take a look at our pack. We got an epic, Patient Assassin. Oh my god, I think I actually might have 2 of those. Yeah. There's an epic hitting Disenchanted. The rare was new, so that Ancient Watcher. I didn't have 2 of it. Yeah, thank God I got one of these babies. I just crossed my fingers, hope I get another one and to finish out the set. Let's take a sneak peek at our next arena. Oh my god, that rogue had like 2 silences, the Stormpike Commando from my Cult Master, the freaking big game hunter for the Giant, and a Deathwing. Honest to God, Jesus. Alright. Oh, and oh, you know what else? Sprint. When she was at no cards and she had like 15 cards in her deck, she drew her Sprint. Okay, we're up against Rogue, Paladin, or Druid. That's that. See you next time.